here the whole meeting.
Is there anyone I need to call, like, to remind them, or? Call this meeting to order, hoping to get out a little earlier. We'll take a break at 10:30, a short break at 10:30. So if people want to stand for those who want to pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready for roll call? All right, Gardner? Here. Christie? And is Christie excused or absent?
Excused.
Deacon?
Here.
Pomelo?
Here.
Strubing? Here. Thomas?
Here.
And Watson?
Here.
All right, and moving on to the Budget Committee, Kassad?
He's excused.
And then Finley? Here. McPherron?
Here.
Paul?
Here.
Perrin?
Here.
Wague? Here. And Watson?
Here.
We've reached quorum. Excellent. New business? Yes. So we're going to start off by reviewing the FY27 municipal budget. And after that, we will be forwarding it on to the Budget Committee. Excellent. Scott made a request this morning. Law enforcement would like to come in and present earlier, but they're not here yet. So we're going to start with debt. That is page 233.
So on page 236, I have two adjustments that I need to make. Since we are not doing the Public Works building in capital, I need to reduce the FY27 bond amount. That's currently at $755,200. That needs to be reduced to $211,500. I'll repeat that again, $211,500. And then the bond surplus reduction, that one that's currently at $219,930, that needs to be negative $94,229.
I don't know what page is on.
236.
Thank you.
Did you say 94229?
94229.
Could you start over again? I was chasing the page. You got ahead of me.
So on page 236 at the bottom for FY27, that's currently $755,200.
Yes.
That needs to be $211,500. And then the number below it, that needs to be negative $94,229. That changes the total amount on that line to be $2,448,272.
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure, $2,448,272.
Thank you.
And what that does is, on the mill rate, that has dropped the mill rate down to $12.88. Just as an FYI.
1288?
Yep.
Thank you.
So, as we go through debt service, it's just, these are the amounts that we have to pay on each of our bond amounts per year. That's page 236. On page 237 is the tax and bond anticipation note. This is if we have to borrow money for cash flow purposes. We usually do that in the fall and the spring. This year, we were lucky, we didn't have to do that in the spring, so possibly in the future, we may be able to reduce this line, but not this year. And then the bond anticipation note is, we don't get the bond money until November, but we start spending money for different projects before then, so we have to borrow in anticipation of that bond amount. So that's what this pays for the interest on those tax anticipation notes and bond anticipation notes.
Questions, council?
So the interest rate go down from last year?
I reduced it, yes. Because the rates have been coming down.
Any other questions from council?
No.
Budget, any questions?
Was this originally in the plan, was it for, accommodating for the $9 million building?
Correct.
Okay.
That's why we just had to reduce it.
Okay.
Can I make a motion?
Yes.
For the debt service 52220, I make a motion to amend the amounts as Scott indicated for FY '27 to $211,500, which makes the bond surplus reduction negative $94,229.
Second that.
All in favor? Unanimous? While we wait for law enforcement, should we just go back to it? Go ahead.
Can I make another one?
Oh, yeah.
I make a motion that as amended, we
Oh, thank you.
move the debt, what do we call this? The debt service to the budget committee.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Excellent. Thanks, Jen. That being said, do we want to go back to general admin or,
Yeah, we'll just run through it now.
okay. And then when law enforcement pops in, we'll switch, okay. So, general admin, page 25.
So on page 27, salaries for the administration department. As you can see, as a front-end administration assistant, that is not a new position. That's the position last year that was half in one department, half in assessing. The position doesn't report to assessing at all and shouldn't be in that department, so I've combined them into this department because that position directly reports to the town manager and works the front counter, so not appropriate to be there. Telephone, this is the amount we pay for our telephone services and our fiber optic for the servers and all our technology. Postage, is going up, so I increased that a little bit to cover the increase. Travel, this line is for travel expenses for the town manager and administrative assistant. Dues and subscriptions, this is to pay for all the subscriptions and certifications that the town manager and administrative assistant have. It also pays for the newspaper. Equipment maintenance, this pays for our Munis application software that runs everything from registering cars at the counter to accounting software, tax collection. Also pays for the lease for our copiers and any miscellaneous repairs that might have to be paid for. Page 33, contractual. This is pays for, we have a lease for the boat launch and the beach. And so this pays for those two leases that we pay Portland Water District. It also pays for any grants that require matching funds that we may get, we pay those matching funds out of this line. Page 34, training, this pays for any training that the town manager or administrative assistant would go to. With the main town and city managers or the HR group at Maine Municipal. The audit, this pays for the annual audit that we have each year. Legal services this pays for any legal expenses the town may incur. Pays for also any legal review that has to happen on the impact fees, now that we currently are putting those in place. It'll be paid for out of this line. Advertising, this pays for any searches we may have to do for department heads, any public announcements, RFPs that we gotta put in the paper. That's where we would pay for it. Office supplies, I reduced that. I thought we had it maybe a little too high, so I reduced it by a couple thousand, based on what we've spent in the past. Commodities pays for the employee recognition. That would be the Christmas party, flag holders for veterans' graves, any flowers for any condolences for deaths or whatever, and any meetings town manager may have. Stuff like breakfast this morning at this meeting. Town reports, if anybody requests a town report, pay for it out of that line. And then new equipment is just for any miscellaneous items we may need to purchase in the office, file cabinets, chairs, etc.
Thanks, Pat. Any questions from council? Go ahead, Bob.
On page 33, water district leases, what specifically is being leased?
Just the land,
What land?
the beach,
The beach.
and the boat launch.
Okay. There was a court case some years ago where the town took the water district to court, although we generally would be perceived as not prevailing in that lawsuit. There was a provision that lands owned by the water district that are not specifically used for reservoir could be taxed by the town. They have nature trails, they have lookouts, scenic lookouts. The beach itself, those and other areas are not used for directly for reservoir purposes. They're used for other purposes. And I would suggest that in the future, the town look at what lands the water district owns that might be taxed by us. So instead of having a $105 lease, we may tax them for that and other such lands pursuant to that court decision. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Any other questions? Jen?
On the legal services.
Yep.
Last finance committee meeting, we used about 40% of that budget. I assume that we're probably gonna use the rest of that when they had to review all of our ordinance changes
Yeah, if
for like the Standish Corner District that are just
Yeah,
coming
that would-
before the council, so that will probably be used up for this year.
I would assume so. That's where it would be posted. It would come out of that line.
Any other questions?
I just got one question.
Go ahead.
On page 27, salaries line, in 2009, you were 209, then it went to 242, and then it's gone to 295, about an $86,000 increase. Did we add a position? Is that where is that? Why is that bumping 45,000 a year?
Well, part of it would be that front-end administrator position that we added last year. It was split between the assessing department and I think general administration. I took it out of assessing because it doesn't report to assessing and put it all into the general administration department. So a lot of that pertains to that combining. It also would pertain to the town manager's salary based, set on, by contract.
You have anything else?
Yeah, I guess, I just saw a $86,000 jump in a year and a half, and I just was curious where that was at. You say this front-end administration is where most of it went to, the 51,000.
Yeah, about half of that, yep. So like 25,000 would be.
Any questions from budget? Carol?
I do. The front-end administrative assistant position that was approved for half assisting, assessing and half doing the front end. So you've put it all here. Do they still do, work with assessing?
No. They don't do any, they don't report to assessing. They do a clerical work.
So it went from a part-time position to a
No,
full-time.
it didn't. It was full-time. It was just being,
Full-time, but now
it was shared. Yep,
was
it
shared,
was
but
just
now
a
it
shared
isn't. So
position, so.
Actually, it's gone to a full-time position in the general administration.
Any other questions? Hearing no further questions, is there a motion?
I
Jen,
make a motion to move the general admin budget as proposed to the budget committee.
all in favor?
Second.
Oh, thank you. All in favor? Let's jump to law enforcement. That is page 125. Hi,
Morning,
good morning.
my name is Terry Joyce, I'm a full captain of the sheriff's office, so I'm kind of the liaison for the contracts throughout the sheriff's office, and I'll also oversee patrol operations, so, I got asked to come here in case you guys had some questions.
Mhm.
Regards to the proposal.
Does anyone, any council questions regarding law enforcement? I have one question. The supervision,
Yes,
what is that?
yeah, so that includes, the sergeants that oversee, the people, the lieutenants that oversee the people, the captains that oversee the people. That's an administrative fee that's always been part of the contracts. It's been there ever since we've been dealing with contracts.
Thank you. And how many staff do we have right now that carry tasers?
Everyone carries a taser.
And how many is that?
You have 8 deputies and eight tasers.
Okay, and how often do they get replaced?
So that's on a rotation kind of basis. I'd say about every 5 years or so.
Okay, the reason I ask is there was 7 tasers in 24, 7 tasers in 25, 8 tasers in 26, and 8 tasers this year.
Yeah.
That's more than every 5 years.
Yeah, so what you're looking at is that's a subscription, okay?
Okay.
All that's part of the subscription is body worn camera, taser, draft one is now part of that, that's the AI. So that's all subscriptions in regards to that equipment. Unfortunately, in today's world, you know, you get all this great stuff, but also there's subscriptions to go along with that. So
Okay.
that's how we designate it. We're not actually buying tasers, but
Gotcha.
but if one goes down with that subscription, they'll send one the next day, and
Okay.
it'll be here overnighted. So, and occasionally they go down, just like any other piece of equipment.
All right. Go ahead, Phil.
I got one question. First of all, you guys do an amazing job in Standish. We're
Thank you.
very proud to have you. Instead of having our own police force, we contract with you. But
Economies of scale works good.
I'm confused on the cruiser. It says cruiser 156, 81, 81. What does that break down at? I'm lost you there a little bit.
All right, so are you looking at the proposal yourself, sir?
Page 127, if you have, it says cruiser, right? It says equipment, and then it says cruiser with a couple of stars.
I believe 2026 would have been last year's amount, and then they're just replacing one
Yep.
cruiser this year.
Exactly.
Last year we did 2.
So the 81,000,
Right.
is that's not fully equipped, is it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, and it also includes the labor to build it, because we have one staff member that's a fleet guy, and he does a great job, but we got like 130 vehicles, not just in the sheriff's office, but within the Cumberland County organization. So he doesn't have the time to be able to get this new vehicle and to build it. So that's shipped out and done. So that includes the labor cost.
I'm thrilled. I was thinking, now underneath it says equipment, 47,000. What would be some of that?
40.
What would the next line down says equipment,
It's listed.
47,000. What would that be consist of?
Well, 47,000 for equipment seems a little high, I guess. I'm not sure what you get.
It says, Phil, down below, it says tasers.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, didn't see the asterisk, yeah.
So, and maybe that's equipment over
Yep.
for your staff of 8, that's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
that's fine.
Any other, go ahead.
I know I didn't have the same paperwork.
I didn't see the asterisk. I brought my wrong glasses today. I've got driving glasses instead of reading glasses, so I didn't, but yeah, I got it. Let's see where it is. Yep.
Any other questions from council? Go ahead, Bob.
Sometimes I've seen, say on a weekend or some other times, there's a fenced area in the back there where there've been some K-9 units training, and I guess some of them are from other towns and such, or other areas that use this. So I know that recently there was a news report of an apprehension that involved a K-9 unit in Standish. And so in addition to the 8 officers that we have, there are other support services such as K-9 and other unit that the Sheriff's Department provides that isn't specifically stated here, such as the K-9 support. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, you're getting the ESU team, which is a SWAT team, it's a regional team. You're getting a dive team, you're getting a criminal investigation division, which is all detectives and things. So the felony type calls, the real important type calls, they're looking into further sexual assaults. Unfortunately, the past probably 8 months, we've had like 2 homicides right here in the town of Standish. So these are the things, these are the assets that come that are part of that economy scale that I'm talking about. And some of that 3% also goes to that stuff as well. So yeah, and to answer your question out here in regards to the gated facility, we're lucky enough to have a K-9 officer, Christian Stickney, that's very well trained, and he is one of the lead training people for the K-9 program down here in southern Maine. So the town was nice enough to provide a space and so on. Every Wednesday the K-9s are training. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're elsewhere, depending on what they're looking at. But recently there was a swatting call down at Bonnie Eagles on Wednesday. And so, when that comes in, everyone goes. And fortunately enough, we had like 10 or 12 K-9 teams right out here. They're able to respond. So, I mean, it's a benefit to the town that, obviously you're not paying for it, just they happen to be here. And that's huge. So
it's a value-added benefit.
Oh, wicked. Yeah.
I want to thank you and your deputies for all you do to help keep our community safe and protect us, and most of which is unseen or unknown by many people.
Right.
At all hours of the day, every day of the week, at a moment's notice. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, so I'd like to second what everybody's been saying. I want to appreciate everything you guys do for us. I work at the high school, and Deputy Bradway is amazing. I love seeing him every day. He does a great job.
Thank you.
Shout out to him. But just a question on the air card. What is the air card?
So the air cards are computer systems that all the cars are equipped with computers. So really, every car is like an office really for the deputy, because there's so much reporting that goes along. Every incident you go to, there's a report. Could be a 3-liner, it could be a 3-pager. So they're required to do a report based on the situation and things like that. So that's that communication aspect for that computer to reach out to the cell tower, etc. To communicate. So that's the cost.
Very important.
Yes, yeah, and every car's got it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go ahead, Phil.
The only thing maybe I'm missing here too is fuel for your vehicles. What line does that fall? We pay for that. What line is that in our budget?
Next page.
Next page.
Okay.
We haven't got there
I
yet.
didn't flip the page. Sorry about that. Here we go.
Any other questions from council? Budget? No further questions? Is there a motion? Jen?
I make a motion to move ahead the law enforcement budget as proposed.
All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very much, Carrie.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, sir.
You will. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day, folks.
You too. Well.
You as well. Have a safe one.
All right, moving on to cable television, page 43. Is there anyone to speak on any of the other stuff we're going through? So it's really just if there's questions.
I had a question, just curiosity. I noticed that our 12 council meetings were $311 more than the other meetings. So I was wondering, since they're all like about the same length and usually the planning board meetings are longer, why is that one line $311 more? So page 45.
Don't know off the top of my head. I have to go back and look at the formula from last year
Okay,
and see what difference.
just a curiosity question more than anything else.
Looks like I've got the same amount in there.
Any other questions from anyone really regarding cable television? I have a question on Flash Vote. Is that something new? Because the Civic Plus website went up like over 100%. Is that because of that Flash Vote? Oh, I'm sorry, page 48, my bad.
Part of that is the flash vote, yes, that is new. I know I live in Wyndham and they use it as well. It's not a survey to the townspeople to vote on something. So that's what it is. It's new to the website. Also, website went up because they're forcing us to update our website. They're updating the software language that runs it. And we didn't have a choice.
Mhm.
So part of that increase is due to that as well.
Okay, thank
If I
you.
may,
Go ahead,
just to
Bob.
clarify, that's part of the .gov change?
It is not. It's just how you look at the webpage is now, the back end behind it is gonna be upgraded.
Different platform, the way they write it, yeah. I have one more question on the security camera system. We're upgrading it, I'm sorry, page 47. We're upgrading it because of age. It's not supported anymore, so if it breaks, it can't be replaced. Is there anything wrong with it right now? Have we had any issues with it?
We have not had any issues with it. If one breaks, they aren't allowed to replace it. And apparently it has something to do with China and it's not legal anymore.
Okay,
So it will have to be replaced at some point.
so are we budgeting, but we're not immediately gonna replace it? It will wait until something breaks, or
I think we'll probably,
immediately replace it?
we would replace it, yeah.
Go ahead.
Unless I read it wrong, I looked like last year we budgeted $17,000 for all the computers to be updated. And I see we're budgeting another $15,000. Did we not do them all? Are we doing more computers?
We did not do them all. We did as many as we had money for.
So $17,000 didn't cover all the computers.
Didn't cover all the computers. There were more than, I think I had originally put in 17 computers. That's what I was told at the time. We found that there were others that just wouldn't take the update. So I think maybe 6 left. That's still.
That's what you know, it says 6 more, I was just, okay, so the last year's budget didn't cover all the computers. Thank you.
Any other, go ahead, Jen.
I just want to clarify on that computer line. So last year, the total budget was 29,000. That included town council iPads, and that those weren't purchased because computers were upgraded instead.
Correct. We didn't have enough funds.
Go ahead, Joe.
We can go back to page 45. I might have missed this. Council meetings, cost is 1864. Planning board is 1553. What's the difference in the two meetings?
Yeah, that was something that Scott was gonna look into, the formula, right?
Yeah, I would say off the top of my head that how much time they spend at each meeting, it probably it looks like they may spend more time at council meetings recording than they do at the planning board meetings. That's what the difference would be.
Maybe the planning board has site walks, maybe they're not doing what we do.
I budgeted
Council
for an hour.
workshops, huh?
I think I budgeted for an hour.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
different things like that, I'm not sure. They might not meet as many times a month as we do, maybe. They figure that too. Workshops and stuff.
I also would like to note that the total is 7426, not 7425. There's a calculation error there.
that, I just make a note, that happens sometimes with,
Okay.
with Excel.
Rounding errors.
I don't go through every page.
No worries.
But I do make sure that the total pages all add up correctly.
Okay.
I'll make that change, thank you.
Carol?
Let's go back to page 48. I just need a better understanding of what Civic Plus website does, because it's not a part of what needed to be upgraded, so I'm just curious as to exactly what that does.
Isn't that the website, the town website?
Is that the one that we have to have?
Yeah, when you go to standishme.gov,
Mm-hmm.
that's what that pays for.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions? Excellent, is there a motion? Jen?
I make a motion to move ahead the cable television budget as proposed.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Town council, page 51. We'll just go right into any questions. Go ahead, Brandon.
Not so much a question, but on our salary line, I think this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'd like to have this be more of a volunteer thing, rather than getting a stipend for it. So, you know, I actually would like to see us move that to a zero. And same with the travel expenditures. We don't ever use it, nobody ever does anything for travel, so why budget $100? So I'd like to make a motion to move those, both the salaries from 10,500 and the travel expenditures to zero, and have this be more of a civic volunteer, and, you know, instead of trying in the small compensation that we get.
Can I have you split those up one at a time?
Sure, I'll make a motion that we make the salary line zero.
I just have a question, is that gonna be a charter issue? Or is that an ordinance issue?
I think it might be an ordinance. Yeah, we can look into it.
I mean, I don't have any objection to that request, I
Yep.
just wanna make
Good
sure we
point.
do it correctly.
Right.
I have a question. Would you consider having a council workshop?
I think I'd second the motion, just so we can discuss it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Would you consider having or supporting a council workshop to address the issue of counselors? One of the things you're talking about is remuneration. Another is the ability of people to even become council members, because in Maine, if you're elected to council and you want time off to take part in your elected duties, you're not given, there's no requirement that employers release you from work. You're asking people to volunteer their time. People do have to support themselves. There might be a good case to be made for changing state law to make it something like jury duty or something that when you're an elected public official, you should be given time without pay from your employer to carry out those specific duties. And perhaps we could have a council workshop, invite our elected representatives and propose this as part of what you're talking about to allow people to participate in whether it's planning board, town council, or other elected duties. I think it would be important to find ways to support it. The pay is minimal. It kind of covers your expenses for sometimes your travel to get to and from places. It's certainly not a get-rich-quick payment that we're getting, but I hope you would consider supporting a workshop along the lines that I discussed.
Any other discussion from the council? Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I'm not running for council again, so I probably should agree on this, but I know a year or two ago, we felt the planning board for everything we did wasn't getting paid enough, so we increased their pay. So I think it's an incentive because I think that's why you don't get charged to travel. I've never charged travel. If you knew the hours we put in, I think the public doesn't realize we're out there in the public. We get people calling us every few days, stopping by our houses. I think the $1,500 is a bargain for what we get on this council and the people we have serving. And I don't think we do it for the money, but I think it's an incentive. When I get the money, I donate a lot of it back. We've done it in the past where councils have got together and donated to a cause the money. So it's not always money we take and think we have to make. So I'm probably not going to support this.
Any comments
Even
from?
though I see where you're coming from, and it's, I'm out of here, so.
Any comments from? Oh, go ahead, John.
I mean, I guess I'm either way on it. I would want to know like what other towns are doing. I believe other towns pay and actually get a stipend or whatever for more, just for their time and stuff like that. So just to throw that out there for discussion and stuff like that. I don't want to vote on something that's going to affect other people that are maybe running for council, like Phil. I'm not running again, so I kind of, just want to throw that out there. So.
Thank you. Any comments from budget? Go ahead, Carol.
I appreciate that. I sat on the Wyndham Town Council for almost 6 years, and there was a point where budgets were tight and the Wyndham Town Council voted to take $1 a meeting, and we did that. We approved that. I don't think that people are sitting up there as a town councilors because they get a stipend. I think they're sitting there for the right reasons, because it's an honorable thing to do, to give back to your town and to support not only yourself in your town, but the other residents that are here. That's my thought process. Brandon, I totally appreciate you bringing that forward. There are many times where you sit as a counselor and you're using your own paper, you're buying pens, you're doing all those types of things. The stipend is not meant to replace work hours. It is meant just for the little incidentals that you may come across. But again, when we think about our life and what we usually do for just other things, I didn't buy this, I totally appreciate it, but generally in the morning, I will spend $3.50 at Dunkin' Donuts for a coffee that I don't necessarily need because I could make it at home or go someplace else. So when we think about those little incidentals that we toss our money at to begin with, there is nothing better than doing it for your civic duty.
And thank you. When I first wanted to be a counselor, I swore myself in, or got sworn in with Mary, and then I found out, oh, you get a stipend. I was like, well, what can I do to decline it? Because I don't want to get paid for this, and I don't see a need to get paid for this, and I always want to just volunteer my time. So, I actually did everything I could do to decline it. I found out I couldn't, but I actually have it all written off through taxes. I haven't received any money for this job for the time I've been doing it. So I just, if we can save $10,000 of the taxpayers' money, I know it's not a lot. That's just my little plea kick there.
John, did you have something? I thought you had your hand up. No, okay, all right. I myself personally also, I take when we get the stipends, they go to donations. So it's not something that I would be able to do on a regular basis on my own because of small income. So the money that I get also goes to donations. And I also probably would not be in favor of dropping it to 0. Is there more discussion, or do we want to vote?
I mean, I second it, but we haven't
Oh.
voted.
Does Angela have an answer for us?
Well, so our charter is currently old news anyways, because it does say counselors shall receive $10 for each council meeting or workshop attended at which a quorum is present. And, you know, by order, I don't have the order on here, but it was changed to $1,500 stipend, and now we're gonna be changing again. So if that does go through, I can look into contacting the lawyer, because it is a charter change, which would have to go, might have to go to vote.
What are we
So,
changing again?
how much, the compensation
Can I?
from the charter,
Okay.
from the charter.
So the charter says that we'll get $10.
Yeah, for each council meeting or workshop attended at which a quorum is present.
So it wouldn't be a charter change if we just dropped it back down to $10
Correct.
instead of 0, right? I mean, then you're just throwing that out there, right? So if you wanted to amend your motion or something like that, but sorry, I am not running this. I'm used to running it.
Keep a timesheet, keep track of your meetings, so we knew how much to pay.
What's that?
You'd have to keep a timesheet, record of each meeting you attended.
No, we already have that.
It would cost us more money to do that than just offer stuff.
Not necessarily,
We
because
wouldn't know how much
every
it should
meeting is
pay.
recorded.
If you drop it down to $10,
Because it's $10 per meeting
oh, $10
meeting
per
that I-
meeting?
that you have a quorum.
Where there's a quorum, yeah.
So
Well,
Point of clarification, does that include subcommittee meetings or just council meetings as a whole?
Council meetings.
Council meetings,
Does it
not
say
workshops?
Just says council meetings or workshops.
right, yeah.
And then, hold on, it also says such compensation may be changed by ordinance, but no such ordinance increasing the salary of members of the council shall take effect during the then current fiscal year. So I guess,
I guess
could
you
be
could change it
changed. Yeah, it could be changed,
by code.
yeah. So we can go ahead and change it easier.
So the charter, you're reading the charter,
Yes.
says $10 a meeting.
Yes, and then continues to say that it can be changed.
We changed that by
the
ordinance
ordinance.
about 50 years ago.
Okay, so I was gonna ask if
And it was
anyone
changed.
knows or
yes.
remembers.
No, it was changed. And it wasn't $10 then, I think we were getting $600 at that point. We changed it in 20 years I've been on the council. I've been on 16, this is my 3 years here, so 19. I know we've changed it a couple times, but.
Right, so it's somewhere in an ordinance
Right.
that we'd have to find is when it was increased to whatever it is
Right.
now.
But if you figure the hours a council puts in meetings and committees and travel and, you're probably getting paid $1 an hour, if that, So you are really, you're not, the pay isn't what you're doing.
Right,
I can promise you
and I
that.
think it was Carol that said supplies.
I mean, I passed up a $500 vote 2 hours ago to Farmington, New Hampshire to be here today. I mean, it's not a money, no doubt,
Any more discussion? Do we, go ahead, Jen?
So
If we changed it reduced it from $1,500 a year per counselor to $300 a year per counselor, we would be in compliance with the charter and follow that up with an ordinance change either at we're too late for the April meeting, but for the May meeting.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's $10, 2 meetings a month, basically $240.
And you add in our Saturday meetings too.
Right,
So 300 would
right,
cover.
that's what I was gonna say, so.
I think with 3 counselors, seats up for a grab in a month and a half, maybe we should leave this for the new council to take up at a workshop sometime. It's an ordinance change anyway, so I would dare say that with possibly 3, at least 2 new councilors coming on and a third, maybe we should let them be the ones that decide if they want to reduce pay. That's just throwing that out there. I don't know if it's something we have to do today.
Okay,
It's an ordinance change, so
that being said, do we want to vote on the motion?
And have
So
to.
if I'm, just to clarify, because we're all affected by the salary, this is not considered a conflict of interest to vote on this?
No, I don't think so.
but we voted to raise it, so I guess we can vote to take it away.
Yeah. No, I think we're good.
Can we clarify the motion?
Click, oh, thank
Just
you.
say it again,
I'll amend my motion to bring it down to the $300 to come in compliance with the ordinance, then to be looked at by the ordinance committee to make the change.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? 2 opposed, the rest in favor. So it passes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be-
The second motion is to take away the travel expenditures of $100, since it sounds like we're using our stipend to pay for our travels. I don't see the need to have it in there twice.
Well, I think we ought to add $1,200 to that account.
I second that.
Did you say?
Excellent. Any discussion on reducing travel to 0? Hearing none, let's vote on that to reduce the travel budget from 100 to $0. All in favor? Unanimous.
I have
Go ahead, Jen.
another matter to bring up. So when we were doing the donations meeting, there was a request by the Standish Food Pantry for a donation, but they have not submitted their paperwork in time, and so technically they were not eligible for a donation, but I had proposed the idea that we use our contingency fund to pay that. Scott, am I correct that we have only spent of our contingency fund this year about $1,200?
Yes, I don't think anything's been spent since.
Okay. So technically, we could take it out of this year's fund,
Good,
as long as it was paid before the end of the year,
yes,
and it wouldn't impact next year's budget.
correct.
And how much is in there?
At the moment, we have about $13,800 in there.
And remind me how much they were asking for? 75.
So to do that, would we need to bring an order forward at a council meeting?
I think in the past, to spend on a contingency you have.
All right,
So then,
we wouldn't need to do that during this. I'll bring
Okay.
that order forward.
Okay,
excellent.
But on the contingency fund, I have another, I'd like to, since we typically hardly ever spend it, and even if we spent $7,500 a year on the food pantry, I would like to make a motion where we drop our contingency fund from 15,000 to 10,000.
I'll second that.
Excellent. And no discussion on that, really?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Henry.
What is what's the contingency used for in a broad spectrum?
If there's ever anything that comes up, it's at our discretion to use those funds to cover that.
And so with, I asked that question, with the price of fuel and everything else, is there a risk of needing contingency funds in the future for elevated costs for commodities that are required to continue operations?
I believe well, I don't think so. I don't know.
I think it's up to the discretion of the council, so they could use it for that if they wanted to. It's for in case emergencies come up or the council wants to use it for, I think we may have used it for pamphlets for the town one year. So stuff like that.
Were the chairs purchased out of that fund last year? No.
I don't think so.
So go ahead, Bob.
Thank you. So many town expenditures have specific procedures that you must follow to expend funds. And some of those procedures have time periods that are related to it. You have to give public notice. Certain things have to happen in sequence, whereas if funds are in a contingency account, the ability to access the funds is likely more quickly available to the town to meet an immediate purpose for which there might be some procedural, technical formality that has to be followed that makes an immediate response just not possible. So having this is a prudent administrative method to say, look, we don't know, this is here for things that happen that aren't expected, and it's prudent for us to have funds that are available. The difference between 10 or 15,000 isn't extravagant, and perhaps that you don't use it some years isn't relevant to the fact that there will be times when you might need it when presented with circumstances that are unforeseen or unexpected. Having a small amount of funds available for prudent use by the council, I think, would be a good thing. Do you know of us ever, what have we used these funds for in the past?
I believe, like 1 year, you used them on pamphlets, 4,500 pamphlets that was for businesses in town. Used it for that. I'd have to go back and look through the years just to see what else the council's used it for. But it's typically for emergencies or when you need access to funds that are budgeted for.
Aren't budgeted for, or for which we have an immediate expense, but the formal procedure might take much longer or be more convoluted to get access to funds.
Possibly depending on what it's for.
Thank you.
Carol?
So it says in 2025 that we expended 2920. I'm curious about each year, going back to maybe 22, 23, 24, what each of those years that this account was used for and what it was used for. So the amount and the item.
Yep, Scott
Yeah.
said he'll look that up for you guys.
Okay.
Yep.
And just going back like to 22, I don't think we need to go back any further than that. But if we're only spending $3,000 out of this account, I'm not sure why we're putting so much money into it.
I love the idea. I thought it was amazing. Whoever, I think it was you, Jen, thought of using that money to help. That way you're still following the rules and you're not breaking the rules. I think that was perfect.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jen,
And for that reason alone, if you left it at the 10 or a little bit lower or whatnot, that way when those things come up, that's available to you.
I was just gonna say the same thing Carol
there you
said,
go.
was that, it seems that we don't use that account for much, and so reducing it to $10,000 is appropriate.
any other discussion? Excellent. Do we want to vote on the motion put forward to reduce the contingency to $10,000? All in favor? Unanimous. Any other questions from the town council section? Go ahead, Chris.
I just want some clarification on page 272, page 55. The town membership COG, what
GP COG,
what is that?
that's the Greater Portland Transportation.
Council.
Yep, Council of
Council of Government.
Council of Government, and they have pacts in there as well.
And
We're part of that.
what do we spend, why does it cost us $23,049 to be a member?
That's just their rate. I don't know what the breakdown would be. Scott, any idea?
I don't, it's just what they charge us. It could be based on how many residents we have, I don't know.
Go ahead, John.
I don't know if that's like a great answer. That's just what they charge us. And, like, how do we not know, like, hey, they're charging us $23,000. We should know exactly what our money is going to for and what we're receiving from it, I guess. Does that make sense? And I'm not throwing, like, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, it's $2.25 per capita is their method to the fee.
Based on our population?
I would assume so, yeah.
Yes, I was actually at the GPCOG meeting. I'm a delegate there, and it went up from $1.75 per capita for a population to $2.25. And unfortunately, it passed through them by a wide margin. You probably know where I stand with that, but
Right.
yeah, that's, they just say, your population is this, we increase it to this to try and meet our fees and overhead.
And what do we get out of being a member?
And we kind of get to be part of, like, we have, get oil deals, we get sand deals through GPCOG for the municipalities, other discounts for fuels and lubricants, et cetera. So it's kind of like a conglomerate of communities that get discounted rates for supplies and things like that.
Jen?
I was just gonna say that, the one thing I do know we get from GPCOG, other than the emails nonstop, is the fuel buying ability.
But I would ask if the savings for the fuel, sand and all that surpass 23,000, right? So which one is better? To pay the regular fees or to get the discounts?
Definitely.
It would depend on the year, how much fuel was, how much of a discount we got. I'd have to run numbers for that.
Yeah, I guess I'm just wondering
It
if it's
may-
important to be part of
But
that.
assume some years it works out, and other years it might not.
Heidi?
I believe there was a few surveys put out by GPCOG recently. Am I incorrect in that they sometimes help with grants, like, for our town? So there was a survey recently, which I think also tied to our website survey line item, that went out to, if you're hooked up to the automatic emails or the town notifications. And that was about some shared parking thing, and then there were two in this past year that I remember. So there's also that aspect of GPCOG as well. Bob?
So the state sets up these districts around the state as to which towns are in which group. We're in the Greater Portland Council of Governments, and that's, as I said, the state has set these up. And the state has done this to help towns work together to cut their costs in a variety of ways. So when you look at the Greater Portland Council of Government website, gpcog.org, it has a summary of what they do. And if I could just share that, I think it would be relevant. I'll summarize what they have.
As long as less than 5
Yes.
5 minutes?
Yes. So they do broadband. They help attract funding to the region for helping municipalities and corporations get better broadband coverage, cooperative purchasing. I mentioned the fuel was one. Economic and community development, provide a range of planning services. I know they've worked with the State Department of Transportation for various things, ordinance development, workshop facilitation, what they call Money Mondays, where they have weekly webinars designed to connect member municipalities for funding opportunities, strategic partnership, economic development programs, Resilience Corps, which is a program in conjunction with AmeriCorps, transportation, the Portland Area Comprehensive Transportation System, sustainability and climate action, help the region prepare for climate change, providing services, resources, and expertise. So this is just a summary of some of the things that they do. And this is something that the state has deemed as appropriate. You know, the state has also done this under Governor LePage. He introduced it for education. The state has previously done this for town councils like us as a way to work together to leverage our resources for mutual benefit. So they're there to help us do more with less by working together with other municipalities through the Council of Government.
Thanks, Bob. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I just feel like we're trapped by, we have to pay whatever they tell us. We were $1 something, now we're $2.25. And the benefit that we're probably getting from them isn't outweighing that 23,000, I would imagine. I would love to see some like
I
numbers
know
that shows that. Are we getting $23,000 worth of benefits from them? If not, then we should just get out of there.
I know that, for the salt, we don't pay retail for the salt. We do the bid to get the salt.
Right, but how much is that? Is that $5,000 that we're saving? Still far from 23. Are we saving $20,000? Then yes, okay, great. Fuel and everything. If you show the numbers, are we saving on the discounts 15,000? Well, we're paying $8,000 more than what we get for a benefit. So we should be able to show what the benefit is to be in there for the taxpayers. If we're paying $23,000, what are these taxpayers getting? What are we getting for that money? If not, we should be out of it and, you know, doing our own thing, or at least negotiating with them saying, hey, you're gonna lose our 23,000, or you could bring our number back down. Like, instead of just jumping us from $1 something to $2.25.
I know that, we would pay retail, it'd be more than $20 per ton. So and we paid over $200,000 in salt and sand last year. So we do spend a lot of money on that.
I don't know if we contract the sand, do we? I thought we used to bid it ourselves if we contracted the cog now for sand also.
I think we do, yeah.
But I know we've gone through this on capital for years ago, and the value we got, you know, for cog was like, for every dollar we spent, we got hundreds of dollars in return from benefits. So it wasn't just 5,000 or 8,000, it was tens of thousands of dollars we saved by going through a cog on stuff and then having them available for anything we might need for information on stuff. But unless things have changed, we would be absolutely crazy to get out of cog, I promise you that.
Henry?
Yeah, I agree with you, John. When it comes to getting a list of what the savings actually are. I know John's not here today to represent his cost that he saves in salt. I can assure you from my experience that he probably alone makes up the difference, because it also gives you a combined locked-in rate for commodities like plow blades and salt. You know, I hear you talk about sand, but there's also a lot of other aspects that come out of GP Cog as far as policy making around the region, and other committees that you can attend to have an influence in. One of those is traffic incident management, which could likely affect the town of Standish when you think about traffic management towards Portland and the Gorham bypass and all that stuff. So while I agree that you should have some kind of quantitative list of exactly what you're saving for that price, I don't know that, from my perspective, the town may not be taking full advantage of everything that GPCOG offers.
John?
And just last thing, I wasn't saying that we should get out of it or anything. I'm just saying, like, so if somebody asks me, I've had people out, hey, what is GPCOG? And even just here, some people don't know exactly what it is. I want to be able to explain, oh, it's saving us this much money. You know, we pay this, but we get this much savings and stuff. And it's just nice to know, hey, oh, it costs 23. This is what we're getting for it. That's all I was throwing out there and saying. But, and so I said my piece. Thank you.
Heidi?
Similar to the EcoMaine, we just, I think you maybe missed that meeting, but we are becoming members, or it's being put for a referendum for saving on our waste, so to speak. I think maybe this may be something like that, where we calculated in that meeting, or we mentioned the numbers of how much money it would save us, how much it would cost us, but how much it would save us. I think probably at some point that was probably done. Maybe it would be, you know, just a refresh of it. For those of us that are, you know, newer to being involved in this process. I think probably in the past when we became members, those things were outweighed, and the benefits versus what the cost of those benefits would be for us were shared. They're not written down on this paper right now.
Carol?
So, and this is one of the main reasons, other than a million others, right? That when I first started on the budget committee, that I specifically asked that the town add more meat and potatoes to their budget. from each of the department heads to explain out exactly what this is. I know what GP cog is, Henry does, Brendan sits on it, but a lot of people wouldn't understand that, and you're sitting there looking at acronyms. I could give you a number of acronyms, but if you aren't working in that field, you don't know what those are. So again, more information to the budget committees would be greatly appreciated, not just by me, but I'm sure by everybody. This is a very minimal, budget books should be probably twice this size with the information. You're looking at millions of dollars that we're going over to say yes or no on things, and explanations are important. Not everybody can come to a meeting where the department head is sitting there trying to explain something, and even then, we don't have the documentation, so it would be appreciated.
2 final brief comments. Bob, brief?
Well, it might be worth having a council workshop to discuss this, and also to invite GPOC to the workshop to give us a better breakdown. I know last year when the Equal Opportunity Alliance was asked about their donation, they're not getting any this time because they didn't come, but last year we had a great breakdown by them as to the very specific details about what they provided in response to what they do to the town of Standish. So perhaps GPOC could give us a better breakdown, and maybe we could have a council workshop to review this and make sure we're getting our best bang for the buck from this program.
Thank you. And go ahead, Chris. One last comment.
On the next item down from the actual membership, is the membership of one that says PACs, and what's?
That's the transportation part.
Okay.
Yep. So it's the same deal with transportation.
I have a separate question, but not on GP cog.
Okay, go ahead.
I just noticed that this year we spent $3,000 more in our advertising. Do we feel like the $10,000 we budgeted this year is going to be sufficient, or should we? I just hate seeing numbers go over budget. Do we feel like that's going to be sufficient to cover our advertising this year?
I believe so. Half through it at this point.
I was just headed there. I was gonna make a motion to cut the advertising in half to 5,000.
Perfect.
Are you making said
Yes,
motion?
motion to cut advertising in half to 5,000.
And there's a second. Page 58. Motion made and seconded to drop the advertising budget from 10,000 to 5,000. Any discussion on that, or can we just vote? All right, all in favor? Unanimous. Did you have something, Angela?
Yeah, aren't these the ads that I run through the newspaper for public hearings?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, and only 20% of that budget has been spent this year.
Where? Where does it say that?
I have it in a
In the-
finance report.
Yeah, it's in the finance report.
Oh, and one thing just to factor in is, for advertising, we also factor in for not just 2 elections, we do, 3 elections as well. And I know some of it would go towards, probably another budget, but it does affect, advertising as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there if there's any wiggle room for that. But, okay. That was dropped down to 5, correct?
Yes. Any other questions for town council section? Go ahead, Jen.
I make a motion that we advance the town council budget as we've amended to the budget committee.
All in favor? Unanimous. Finance, the next section. Page 71. Are there any questions on anything in the finance section? Really, it's just salaries, travel for gas, office supplies, postage has gone up, and contractual because there's increases in registry for filing liens. all pretty legitimate. Anything to discuss there? Excellent. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to advance the finance budget as proposed to the budget committee.
I'll second that. All in favor? 4, John stepped out. Thank you. Sorry, 5. John stepped out, yeah. The appeals board, page 89.
Make a motion to advance the appeals board as proposed to the budget committee.
I will second that. Any discussion or? All right, excellent.
Well, yeah, sorry. I see they're not spending a lot of their stuff that's budgeted. And I was wondering, I know we're talking about small dollar amounts here.
It's more of an in case we need money, if we have an appeal to spend on this stuff.
I know there's been a lot of appeals lately, so. Okay. Fair enough.
Could happen, might not happen. But yes, it is a small amount. It's not, we're not raising tens of
It's not
thousands
a
of
deal
dollars
breaker
for
here.
nothing.
All right, is there a motion to move this forward?
Yeah, make a motion to move the appeals budget as proposed forward to the budget committee.
I'll second. All in favor? 5. Building maintenance, page 97.
So, building maintenance, make a comment here on page 99. I did add a position this year, custodial staff. We do not contract that anymore. We brought it in-house because we just weren't getting quality service. So that has been added, and it's needed. As to that. So. Page 100 on the fuel. What I do is I average out the rate from the Energy Information Agency. They give me projections for each quarter. So I average that out for the next 4 quarters to come up with projected rate. Of course, this was done before. So it may be well under budgeted, or it may be over budgeted. I don't have a crystal ball, so it could be over and may not be, so. That's my best estimate based on our prior consumption needs.
I had a question on page 102. Can you explain, the fire preventive sprinkler systems and extinguishers went up 65%?
Yeah, I get this from what we've spent past history.
Okay.
And last year, that was under budgeted for those services. It was budgeted.
Okay. Go ahead.
Bob had his hands up first, so.
Oh, go ahead, Bob.
On page 99, the facility technician,
They're in charge of this whole building as far as any work that needs to be done outside, painting, replacing boards, anything internally. There's an issue with HVAC system, is responsible for contacting.
the roof leaking.
Yes, they'll be in charge of being.
So we have building maintenance. Is there something here that I missed about potentially replacing the roof or doing something else with long-term wear of the building? needing significant structural changes.
And that's part of the bonding for the past couple of years, bonded money that should at least do part of that. Roofing,
So the roofing is not in here?
it's not in the operating budget.
Okay, it's part of the bonding. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
On page 101, the inter-building travel, Aaron's travel expenditures, I see we have budgeted $850. Most of the time I've seen him driving around a town vehicle. Or I know we have plenty of other town vehicles sitting up there that we could use for his disposal. So I was wondering, do we have to be paying him for his gas and time, or can we just have him jump in a town vehicle and use that instead of paying him $850 for travel expenditures? So I guess we'll make a motion to make this to 0 and have him use a town vehicle.
Who's he?
This would be the facilities maintenance guy.
I would second that. There's a lot of vehicles for him to use at this point. Any discussion on that, or just move to a vote? Go ahead, Phil.
I guess I'd like to find out what vehicles are available, because a lot of times all vehicles are used here and a lot of departments don't like to share vehicles, so I think what
Two old cruisers sitting up there.
as long as we can designate a vehicle for this, I don't have a problem, but I don't want to just say, go find a vehicle every time you need to go somewhere. I think that would be going down a dangerous slope, you know. I think we need to say, okay, he needs to take the cruiser, that way he can, or pick up whatever it needs, or whoever goes and does this. I just want to be careful. I know they used to use a little Ranger pickup. That was the designated thing to run around, but then the recreation department took that over. Is that correct? And now they don't get to use it, I guess, or now I guess it's junk, it's. the
Ranger Rec is gonna
or something, but
Be done.
I just want to be careful.
Rec inspection.
We don't have the guy walking around for an hour trying to find a car every time he needs one.
Great point.
At $35 an hour in benefits.
Carol.
So while I appreciate that, I also want to make sure that all of our departments understand that the town is a team, and that just because they don't want to share their vehicles or share their stuff, that's not really an option. So if there is a vehicle that is available, then you can't say, I'm sorry, I don't want to share that today.
Thank you.
That's not okay.
I think they do. I don't.
I was just addressing a comment. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the motion to drop it to 0? Go ahead, Jen.
It looks like in that category, about $188 has been spent. So maybe if we reduce it down to 200, so in the event that the technician needs to make a trip that has to happen and can't wait for another vehicle available, there's funds to do that.
And I'll amend my motion to $200.
Okay, I will second that. No more discussion, all in favor? Unanimous. Decreasing from 850 to 200 for the travel expenditures. Any other questions or discussion on building maintenance? Go ahead, Heidi.
Last year, the custodian salary was $51,000, $667,000. So you're saying that that wasn't contracted, like we had somebody here working, correct?
Correct.
And so now the custodial staff is going down to $38,000. Did someone leave and we hired somebody else for the custodial staff position? And did we reduce their hours? Like, what happened?
We
What
got
are we
rid of
doing?
the contracted service and hired somebody at a normal rate. We were still adding another position to that.
Right, the facilities technician.
Right.
Yep.
The facilities technician originally was a position that cleaned the bathrooms and also worked on the building. We can't find somebody that does both. We need somebody who works, that knows the building, and then we needed somebody to clean the building. And so that person we hired at a lower rate does that. So that's why it's lower. So it was one position, now there's 2 positions.
Is the custodial staff person full-time?
Yes. Well, no, I take that back. They're part-time.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? If not, is there a motion to move the building maintenance? Go ahead, Jen.
I make a motion to move the building maintenance budget as amended forward to the budget committee.
Second that.
Excellent. All in favor? Unanimous. I think we can get general administrator assistance in 10 minutes, and then we'll take a break after general assistance. That is page 129. Are there any questions or discussions on, it looks like just the contractual? Nope. Hearing none, is there a motion? Go ahead, Jen.
Make a motion to move the general assistance budget as proposed to the budget committee.
Second. All in favor? Unanimous. Do you guys want to take a break now, or do you want to do one more? We don't have that many left. All right, so let's move on to capital outlay. Page 207.
I'll just make a comment about, this is to raise money for the major equipment reserve, trying to build up. Currently has $170 remaining in it.
100 and what?
$170. So if nothing gets used in the current budget, we'll be putting 25,000 into it. So this is raising another 25,000 to build that reserve up for any major catastrophes that may happen unexpectedly.
That's for all departments?
Yes. So like, the pump goes on one of the pumper trucks out back. We would have funds we could go to get that repaired.
So it's currently 107, there's about to be 25,000 going into this, and this would add $25,000 in 2027.
Correct,
So it'd be $50,107 if we don't spend anything.
correct.
Any discussion, questions? Hearing,
One question.
go ahead.
107, what did that start at, 25,000?
25,
You got down $107.
correct.
All right, is it?
Yes, we're using it.
Yeah, we're using it. Go ahead, Jen.
What did that get spent on?
Can I get back to you after the break?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the budget, the committee, finance committee report saying we have 25,000 available.
The reserve has $170 left in it. It's the capital reserve I passed out at the beginning of the budget. It was one of the packets I had. It was the policy and then what was left in all the reserves.
Just curious, like, Public Works has got 217,000 for equipment maintenance. You know, are they using all of them up every year too, like the Public Works? And I know every department's got an equipment maintenance outline in it.
I believe Public Works used all theirs up for equipment maintenance.
Jen, do you have a follow-up?
I'm still confused because it looks like my finance committee report is wrong.
No, the operating budget still has 25,000 in it,
Okay,
but the reserve only has $170. At the end of the year, if we don't use that 25,000 in the operating budget, it will get transferred to the reserve.
okay.
Which will And then if we pass this, it'll go to 50.
Correct, if we don't use any.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Heidi?
Is there an expectation to use it before the end of this current year? The $25,000 that's currently in that account?
I don't know of any. So I would say no. I don't know if any other department heads have something in mind, but as of now, I don't know of any.
All right, Carol?
Have we used it? Have we used the 25,000 each year?
Looking into that right now.
Okay. Because I don't see a reason to raise it if we haven't used it.
I think we just started this a year ago or 2 years ago.
Couple,
just
I think.
recently, huh?
Yeah.
Just a couple.
But I don't want it to be a fund where, like the rec department had a couple 100,000 setting in an account, you know? And I just want to make sure this doesn't get to be where every department already has an equipment maintenance. I just want to make sure we're going in the right direction, just not putting money there and it sets or what I want, you know. And I guess the council should probably get a breakdown on what this money is used for when it's used, so at least they have an idea where it's going.
Seems like it was used at one point because it's down to 107, right? So,
We used it on an ambulance.
okay. So then what we put in
To repair
last
the
year
ambulance.
hasn't been touched for this year, right now.
Correct.
You used it out of the first 25 when we started it, then we put in
Correct.
25 last year, and then now we want to put another 25 unless we skip it this year.
Correct.
All right, any further, go ahead, Henry.
One question, one statement. My question is, if these funds was put into this account, who has the authority to spend it? Or does it have to pass through town council, town manager? Is it just a department head?
By council order.
Okay, and the statement is, I guess this goes,
Let me qualify that statement. If we need to come take it out of the reserve, it has to go through council order. If it's in the operating budget, then department head with the town manager's approval could use it.
okay. And the statement is, I would just reiterate what Carol said earlier. I think this goes back to a more complex description in these budgets would be helpful moving forward.
All right, no further comments. Is there a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion.
Good, Jen, thank you.
I'd like to move the capital outlay budget as proposed to the budget committee.
Second.
Excellent. All in favor? Opposed? Four, 5 in favor, 1 opposed.
I wasn't opposed.
No, Brandon was.
It was, okay. I put my hand up opposed. I was reading something, I stuck my hand up.
Excellent. Do we need a 5-minute break? What we have left are benefits, insurance, and transfers out.
I do. Yes.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break.
Is Scott gonna get that list for us?
get settled back in.
It was actually a positive review.
Yep, let's finish this up.
Just the way he started.
Nice day.
Excellent. We'll wrap things up here. We're coming up on employee benefits, page 215.
First page is FICA Medicare. This is based off of 7.65% of all salaries have to be paid to Uncle Sam for Social Security. Workers' comp. Look at last 10 years and come up with an average. Look at what we spent last year. They bill on a calendar year where we're on a fiscal year, so we know half of the year what it's gonna be. We have to estimate the other half, which I've done. The actual expenses times 5%. Increase from 25 to 26 was an 8.63% increase. So looking at what the bill is for this year, I've actually decreased what's in the budget by $800. Unemployment is the same thing. They bill on a calendar year, so we know what July through December, we know what those amounts are gonna be, but we don't know the following 2 quarters. So take a look at what the amount is in calendar year 26, get an average out the last 2 years that we've spent, and combine those to come up with somewhat of an estimate of what they're gonna charge us. And that's what that number is, and it actually reduced it by $1,000. Accrued sick and vacation time, this is to build up or for when employees retire, we have to pay out their vacation time and half their sick time. That is paid for from this reserve. We're trying to build up a reserve so we don't have to raise it every year. We're anticipating multiple retirements in the next fiscal year. So right now, that reserve has not enough to cover it, and that's why we're raising $55,000 this year. Group insurance. This is for health insurance. As the notes say, we're changing insurances to the Maine Municipal Health Trust. I believe 400 and something communities use the health trust currently. And we have anticipated a 20% increase with our current or prior health insurance. This was a request by the employees that went through the personnel committee. And so that's what their proposal for the health trust is. Retirement is formula based off of salaries and wages for full-time employees. I calculate out those who are on Main PERS, which used to be Main State Retirement, those employees who are not, that have ICMA, and calculate out what that costs, then multiply it by the salaries and wages. Disability insurance, this is a cost for short-term and long-term disability. Currently, the town is proposing to pay up to 40% of short-term disability if the employee wants more coverage. They have to purchase that. And long-term disability, that if the employee wanted that, coverage, that they would have to purchase that. And that's what it costs. Uniforms, that's for the public works employees, the uniform allowance. Group dental and eye care. This is for the dental insurance through Delta Dental. And, also pays for the eye plan for the employees. And that's employee benefits.
All right, questions? Go ahead, Bob.
Thank you. So the town has grown. There have been some changes in the way things are done. Some of this reflects inflation, that things cost more, that the town has to participate in. Some of it reflects the fact that we have more employees than we've had previously. For example, in the last couple of years, we used to contract out for certain plowing services. And now we bought trucks, have our own drivers. The drivers are used for the plowing and other things, general town employees. And some of that is those employees we talked about the custodian that was hired that we expect to have. So we've accrued employees as partly the way we accrued the employees was seen as beneficial to the town. Instead of high rate contracts, we chose to take over services internally and save money in certain ways, but some savings have other costs associated, which are these things. So part of this reflects the fact that we have more employees and things cost more. Is that generally correct?
That is accurate.
Okay. The last thing I want to make a point of is the health insurance, and our employees have been very patient with us. I think everyone here understands the importance of health insurance to themselves and their family, and our employees need to be protected from, getting sick just as much as the rest of us. And all of the clear trend across the state was that certain health insurance providers weren't meeting the needs. It was more expensive, more difficult to get services. Employees have discovered this. They've asked us to change healthcare providers. And actually, the new healthcare provider not only is better for the employees, but is less costly for us than what the other provider, I believe, was going to charge us. So that when we address the particular line item for a group insurance, we should take into account that our employees have met with the town manager, the personnel committee, and others, and themselves, and just recognize, look, we have a problem. Health insurance has been working for us. We need to make these changes. And the consensus is across the state that it was appropriate to make that change to get better services. So I support the employees speaking out on their own behalf, and I support these costs, although it is an increased cost. Indirectly, they're related to other ways in which we chose to save money, but it has an effect on our costs here. So I would support this budget, and I thank you for clarifying my questions.
Thanks, Bob. Go ahead, John.
I have a question on the sick time and vacation time. So when you budget that for the year with their salary, and then you budget, they have 2 weeks vacation, they have this many sick time, that you budget in those vacation days and sick days, right? So then when they don't use them and they carry over, right, where does the money for that budget for that year go? Does it go somewhere to save for, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if we budget in 50,000 for somebody, but they don't use all their time, so there's money left out there, right?
No, when an employee takes a sick day, a vacation day, that's paid for out of the salary lines. It's an unfunded amount, their vacation time. So if someone were to leave and we have to pay out their vacation, there's not a pool of money to pay for that. That's what this is. So when they take a vacation day, that's paid for out of people's salary line that's budgeted.
Yeah, this is, you're talking about page 220?
250, well, I was
The
just looking at
55,000.
215, the 55,000.
Yeah.
I'm
That's-
just saying, I was just thinking that, like, if we're already budgeting that person to take vacation time and sick days and all that, we have to pay them if they take it.
Right.
If they
So-
don't take it, does the money get
If I
carried
can
over?
help you a minute. So a town doesn't necessarily work like a school system. If a teacher takes time off, you have to replace that teacher with another teacher. So therefore you have a fund to replace that teacher because now you're paying two, right? So in a town, if, let's say the town manager takes time off, another employee may be doing her duties, but she's getting her salary. They're just not calling it pay for work, they're calling it vacation.
No, yes, ma'am, I'm not really, I guess I was just confused on the budgeting of like, if we budget in their time that they would take,
If we budget that
and they don't,
55,000.
and if they don't take it, then their money would carry over, but.
With that 55,000, if no one retired in the year, that would move to a reserve. Currently, there is no reserve. There's a small reserve.
Nice, thank you, I was just wondering.
Heidi?
On page 220.
Thank you, Carol.
I think if you're referring to the item on 215, but 220, there's a note there that explains that if there's no retirements that take place, what happens to those funds?
I also want to bring up, I don't think I've ever worked a job where I got paid out for sick time. Sick time was a given thing. Paid out vacation, yes, because vacation is accrued and you're due it. But sick time is, why are we paying out on leftover sick time?
That's a municipal thing. A lot of towns pay out some sort of sick time. Ours is, you have to work here 10 years, and you would get half of your sick time.
10 years.
Because part of it is a reward for people not taking sick days just to take sick days. You know? So, but if you're sick, you need to take, that's what it's there for. But
Right.
we don't want everybody taking sick days just because they have time to. So it kind of rewards employees for,
Okay,
but it's a municipal thing.
who was first?
Who's first?
Carol.
So I don't know if I can help this or not, but legally, if an employee leaves employment and there is no policy that says we're not gonna pay you out unless you give a 2-week notice or what have you, then the employer legally, if it's more than 11 employees, has to pay out that PTO or vacation time. Some folks will separate it into PTO and sick time because legally, if they leave, you also don't have to pay out the sick time. You have to pay out the PTO, but you don't have to pay out the sick time. So if you give somebody, let's say, 2 weeks vacation time and then 3 days of sick time, and they leave with a proper notice, then you pay them the vacation time, but you're not paying them the sick time. So it does save employers, no matter who you are, money, if you do it that way.
Thank you. Who is next over here?
221, the insurance. It says the change insurance was requested by employees. Was there like a meeting or
Yes,
there was? Okay.
they met with the town manager to go over what they were looking for the year.
So we're gonna raise it by the 239 or 239,000 was if we stayed with who we are,
Yes,
and then we're gonna add another 136,000 if we switch.
that would be the ultimate increase, would be that technically that 23,000. That would be the extra for switching to this plan.
Okay.
You got a question, Chris?
Yeah, on that, going back to that accrued sick time, so you said it's when an employee leaves the job and they've been there at least 10 years, they get half of their accrued sick time?
Correct.
And would they get, that would be over that, whatever number of years they worked?
Correct.
Okay, so there is a cap on it then?
Correct.
The 10-year, would the 10 years be the cap? How far would, I mean, if someone left after 20 years?
960, yeah, it's 969 hours.
What's that?
The cap is 969 hours.
Heidi?
How many, How many days a year do the employees get for sick days or sick hours?
I think they get, hours of, or 9.5 hours per month.
Any other questions?
I just got, obviously, the insurance from expanded 2025 to this budget has gone up $505,000. 505,000 is a lot of money over the 2 years. I know years ago, we offered, pretty sure, I don't know how we did it, but if, say, my daughter works here and her husband works for Gorham, if he had insurance, we offered her a stipend if she didn't take our insurance. Do you guys still do that?
Yes, we do.
Is that way, how many people, there are quite a few people that take that. That way, obviously, they get covered by both jobs, so it saved us tens of thousands of dollars each employee. So where is that at now? Is there many employees doing that, or should we offer more money to get more people into that program where instead of paying $2,000 a month, we're paying $3,000 for the year, and they sign off that they're insured through their wife or husband at another job? Should we need?
I think like 9 or 10 employees take it currently. And
What
it's
the stipend is that we give them?
$4,000 a year. And it costs, I don't know, $10,000, $12,000 for one single employee for health insurance. So even if you raise that to
Well, that's what I'm saying.
6,000.
Maybe if we raise it, if we got 5 more people,
It might
it's
entice.
all based on whoever we got in, we're not getting anything out unless someone gets in. But if we could save, if we went to 6,000, so everybody said, hey, yeah, I'll take this and sign off, and we save 10 grand for
Save $6,000 or $7,000.
for employees, so we should think more about
Is
that.
that set through the personnel committee though, or is that something that we do here?
Personnel committee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and but that's only gonna entice the ones that their spouse or they have a
Exactly.
better offer or something
agree.
like that. I mean, but yes.
But there's no downside to it because they're not taking the 6,000.
No, right, yeah, no.
But if an employee wanted to take the 6,000 and not have insurance, and if he didn't have, is that a problem for us or not?
It would be a savings.
It would be a savings, but I mean, say if my wife didn't have insurance and I say, yeah, I'll take the 6,000, I could do that, right, if I was an employee?
You'd have to be on your wife's insurance.
You would have to be on another insurance to do this. So I couldn't do it unless my wife was insured, that's what I'm saying.
I think so.
Why not?
Chris, did you have a question?
Yeah, on page 217, the FICA and Medicare. You've got, you say 7.5% of that total wages, but that,
Say 30, 40.
but that total, 7.5% of 6,449,000 is 493,000. So you're almost 65,000 higher on it. Are you not showing us the estimated total wages? What's the difference?
Also included in that is the paid family medical leave. We have to pay 1% on everyone's wages.
Okay, so it's really 8.65%?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris, did you have a question?
Employees pay half of that, so they would pay half of the percent, the town pays the other half.
So we're at 8.15%.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Have we shopped other insurance? Have you shopped other insurance companies for a lower bid?
We have done that up until this year. We had a broker who would shop the market and back with proposals from Anthem,
Yeah.
Harvard.
I'm just wondering if we could get a comparable to Harvard or better.
If we go with the health trust, we can't. If we go with the health trust, they use Anthem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they didn't go with that, have we already gone with Health Trust or okay.
Heidi?
I thought that moving to Maine Health Trust was a new decision for this year, no?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we haven't gone with it.
And the part of the reason why is because of the mental health coverage for these other insurance, from these other insurance providers are not providing, they're denying coverage. And you heard the Sheriff Joyce, or I don't know what his first name was this morning. Carrie speak about the homicides in our town recently, and also just many tragic events over the years. There have been several, including this year. And our firefighters and EMT workers need that extra mental health coverage, I think. And I think that if we as a town can provide that for them, that's one of the least we could do. I mean, we can say thank you, we can say all this stuff, but if we don't kind of put our money where our mouth is, in providing coverage that's needed for them, yeah, so that's one of the reasons why they're switching to the main municipal, the health trust.
I agree. My sister was on scene with the toddler down in the corner. She was one of the first people there. So I get the mental health. I was just trying to, $130,000 additionals is
Yeah.
wild. Because it's only gonna continue to go up every single year. So
I understand. And there's 450, I think, communities that are in this already. We're one that hasn't been, and this is us, jumping in. And I think that the timing is right for us to move forward with it.
Carrie, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and the other part of the increase is the health credits that expired. So we knew our health
Oh, yeah.
was going up a lot. Due to that.
Carol?
Right, and I gotta duplicate what Heidi said. That's the path that I was going down. The other piece to that too is the more employees that we have lowers premiums. So the less employees that you have on your insurance, the higher the premiums for everybody that's on it.
Yeah, and this new plan also, the employees are not gonna be forced to pay for their care upfront and then get reimbursed. A lot of employees won't go and get taken care of because they don't have the money to pay for it upfront, and this will help that. I think it's gonna increase the health. Yeah, John?
And I was thinking the same line that you guys were when I was hearing about the new policy before. There's one, we could always shop and get cheaper and get cheap insurance, but I think that's one thing we want to offer is to our employees is, a good health plan, because it's definitely needed for those reasons. So I definitely back this new policy.
I'll say one thing too, and then I think employee benefits in a lot of ways is better employee retention, even than constant raises. If we are treating our employees right, that will save us a lot of hiring expenses, but it's more beneficial than, 3.5% of COLA. Even if we have good benefits, it's cheaper in the long run than, yeah, we'll pay you 6% more, but our benefits are, lousy. It's better. It's a better way of employee retention through benefits rather than salaries.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Jen.
Also, I think, aren't the employees sharing some of this cost? Because before the town paid 100% and now it's gonna be 90.
Correct. Yep, the employees are bearing some of the cost as well.
Nice.
Any more questions or discussion? Excellent. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to move ahead the employee benefits budget as proposed to the budget committee.
A second.
All in favor? Unanimous. On to insurance, page 227. Anything you want to say about insurance? Nope.
Make a motion, we move it on to the budget committee.
I second that.
All in favor? Unanimous. And last but not least, transfers out, page 239. Can I ask, are you gonna explain what transfers out is? Okay, thank you.
So we have a special revenue fund for the public safety fair. And every year, the town raises $2,500 to support that fair. What that is raising the money in the operating budget, and it gets transferred out into this special revenue fund for the public safety. To pay for, all the costs out back that we have in October.
Okay. Can was it the public safety that did the $2,500 for the spectacular, or was that Parks and they increased it by 2,500? I just don't remember what department that was. Was that public safety or Parks and Rec?
Earlier, in the budget process, you had mentioned about the public safety, it was somewhere else, but I believe you guys removed it.
Okay.
And then you
Yes.
just said leave it in transfers out.
Okay.
Yes, I do also believe that spectacular had an increase as well for fireworks, I think.
Fireworks, yeah. Okay, thank you. Any discussion on transfers out? Any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I make a motion to use the transfers out budget as proposed to the budget.
Second?
All in favor? Unanimous. That was the last one on our checklist. So what's next is to forward it to budget.
We have order to move this operating budget to.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Wait, I had to say it for you. We do?
The revenues, it's not on here.
Oh, revenues.
We should probably look for some of those larger ones.
Okay. What page is that, Scott?
Right at the front of the budget. Page 3. Actually, I did have a change, one change. So, first line, excise taxes, vehicles, we did increase that. We've been seeing increase in excise finance committee, report. For the past couple of years, felt that was needed to be increased a little bit. I do need to request a change for the snowmobile reimbursement. I believe in donations, we put in 3,300. So we just need to reduce this down to 3,300.
Scott, I'm sorry, I'm not finding page 3.
It's not in our original book.
It's
I
on the
think
original
there was a
book.
pass-out possibly, because I didn't have it either.
It was in the front of.
Oh,
Yeah, it's in our
It's in
book.
looking at the wrong one. Thank you.
It was a separate handout right on the
Okay, I'm good.
first or second meeting.
Okay.
So I'd like to change that snowmobile reimbursement to 3,300. The next line, state revenue sharing, state, as of this morning, they haven't updated it since February. So that's the projection. State is looking to share with the town. Tree growth reimbursement, local road assistance. Current year, we've received 229,000, so it was safe to increase that a little bit. Safe to say that we're gonna receive some more next year. Same with the tree growth reimbursement, that's part of the commitment that the assessor makes every August. This current year, we received 116,000 in FY '25. We'll receive FY '26's. We won't get that until in FY '27. But I anticipate it to be over 100,000. Same with the veterans tax loss reimbursement, that is also done through the commitment process. We received 5,700 last year. Keeping it at 6,000 is a safe. Renewable energy reimbursement, this is something new from the state. Last year we didn't, it was the first year, we didn't have any numbers. We actually received 49,000 this current year. It's also part of the commitment process. town assessor does, it's based off of what renewable energies are in the town. So I think 50,000 is a safe bet. General assistance reimbursement is a formula based off of what we're budgeting. 70% of what we're budgeting to pay general assistance, we get back from the state. Reimbursement is the business equipment tax exemption that the state pays us. That is also calculated through the assessor's commitment based off of a formula on how much the assessor calculates it, that's the businesses in town have. Homestead reimbursement is the last thing that's calculated through the commitment process. And that has a formula that I calculate an estimate for based off of 70% the state allows and our mill rate, how much exempt value we have in the town. Under licenses and permits, we've got building permits. We've last year collected 350,000. I think currently we're at about 100,000. So I felt 250 was safe to keep it at. I didn't want to increase that anymore. Plumbing permits, we've seen that in finance that we haven't been receiving as much as in the past. So I felt that we needed to reduce that by a little bit to compensate for that loss of revenue. Transfer station user fees, we've received 117,000 last year. I think the 90 we budgeted in FY '26 is a little low. Increase that. Same with the sticker fees. That's been increased. We received 149,000 last year. There's an increase to the sticker prices. So I've accounted for that in the 160,000 calculation based over 4,000 residents. 4,000 per sticker purchases. Under charges for services, we've got motor vehicle agent fees. That's the fees that we receive every time somebody registers a vehicle. Last year we received 46,000. So I felt an increase of a little bit was due. Impact fees, or actually cable TV, that is for every subscription in town, we get a franchise fee from Spectrum. That franchise fee contract is actually coming up in the next couple of years to be renewed. So there may be some changes to that, but based off of what we've been receiving a lot less than in the past, so I reduced that amount down to 100,000. I don't know where that franchise fee contract is going to go in the future, so that may be something that we have to zero out at some point, but not for next year. Impact fees, there was just one impact fee line. So we've started implementing impact fees for recreation and public safety. We also already had impact fees for roads in our ordinance, so that's what that line is. It's not something new. We received 93,000 last year, but it's all based off of what comes through the planning board and how many subdivisions get approved. So it's not something really that I forecast, I guess. So I left it at 65,000. We had the budget last year. We collect those fees upfront from the developer. They sit in escrow. That's where that money is. Recreation fees, impact fees, with the new recreation fee, impact fee, that's based off of what the fee is, 135 units, 30% of that. Because I don't know how many subdivisions we're gonna have. Last year, we received 96,000 for that line. We anticipate more subdivisions coming into town, so that's why that number is increased. Same with public safety. I got 135 units from enforcement. Under EMS revenues, which includes the intercept revenues, it's based off our ambulance run collections. That's a formula that I take, we've collected over the 8 months that we're in, amortized it over 12 months to calculate what it would look like over a 12-month period. EMS service fees, that's what we collect from the communities that we also service. And we're taking on another town. At least half of, they're paying us half a year when they come on from their fiscal year. I believe it's Swaco, but on that. So that's why that fee has gone up. We're anticipating more service fees. Investment interest, with the increase in interest rates. We had budgeted 90,000 last year. We're well over that in the current year. So I've increased our expectation of interest for the year. Leases and rentals is just the rental fees that we get for the cell tower out back. Then use of surplus is the amount we take from unassigned fund balance to offset tax rate. And proceeds from bond is the amount that we're gonna bond. We have it on the expense side, we have to have it also on the revenue side, so it doesn't impact the tax rate. So all in all, revenues are down 200,000, little less than 200,000 for the year. Any questions?
I don't see any.
Heidi?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Under animal control fees on page 3, says we've collected $274, approved last year was 800, we're increasing it to 1,000.
Sorry, what page?
Page 3. Animal control fees, it's under charges for services.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had a question about planning board also, what increased $25,000 for revenue.
Yeah, animal control fees is. Pickups of.
Okay.
Kind of an arbitrary number.
Yeah. And we're, okay. And then the planning board, what is that income from?
When developer or something comes through the planning board and they approve for whatever their subdivision or whatever, they have to get a bill. But through the planning board, they have to pay fees for that. They've just went through, or not even the trailer park just went through. That's where a lot of that 55,000 came from.
Okay. That's in addition to the permits that they have to buy. Okay.
Go ahead, Henry.
Just a few questions. Could you explain the transfer station user fees versus the, what the sticker fees are?
So my understanding is the user fees are for like, if you drop off a mattress or AW, you have to pay for that. Whereas the sticker fees are, when you purchase a sticker for the year, that's where that would go.
Okay, so that's the bulky items and the costs that are accrued above and beyond what the sticker covers for normal household waste. And just a statement on the other financial, I'm sorry, on page 4, proceeds from bond, the $11 million would be adjusted from the Public Works building denial, correct?
Yeah, my screen hasn't changed because it's a formula. Yeah, that needs to be reduced. I can give you that number right now. $1,978,293. Thank you.
Any other questions? Comments? Excellent. Is this one that we also have to make a motion to accept?
We have to amend it first, correct?
Yes.
So in total, there's 3 amendments?
As amended.
300. Bond, proceeds from bond.
And also is that tree growth? No,
No, I believe it's tree growth.
hold on.
The snowmobiles?
Road assistance.
That's 220.
Oh, okay, I thought you said that was 229.
I'm sorry, I misspoke, it's 220.
Okay, I make a motion to change in the revenue budget, the snowmobile reimbursement from 3,700 to 3,300. And a motion to change, the proceeds from bond, $11,068,293 to $1,978,293.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous.
I now make a motion to move the revenue budget as amended to the budget committee.
Second that.
All in favor? Unanimous.
So the recovery is $12.87. $11.
At the beginning of the budget season, it was 1311, like, but
So 1309 or 1311. It changed throughout the budget.
Right.
What's it changed to now?
$12.87.
Now it's up to you guys to get that down to $12.
So then, we just move this forward? Thank you for clarifying.
As a total, as a combined.
there's that.
Move the operating budget to the budget.
Second page of the agenda has the order, I think.
In order for us
Yeah.
to vote on?
Yeah. I was waiting on Angela, but she's busy. Thank you, Angela.
All right, so order number 25-26, forward FY 27 operating budget to the Budget Committee. Order that the proposed Town of Standish FY 27 operating budget is hereby forwarded to the Budget Committee on April 4th, 2026, and further order that the Budget Committee will have 14 days to review the operating budget and return the recommendations regarding the operating budget pursuant to the requirements of the Standish Town Charter to the council at the April 18th, 2026 at the special joint Town Council Budget Committee meeting, which begins at 6 p.m. So roll call. Gardner,
Yes.
Deacon,
Yes.
Pomelo,
Yes.
Strubing,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
And Watson.
Yes.
Meeting on the 18th is at 6?
It actually is Saturday, the 18th,
He's correcting it right now.
Yeah.
so I don't think, I think it starts at 9 AM.
That's what I.
9 a.m.
Unless you wanna
Yeah,
have
6
dinner,
PM on a Saturday.
we can have dinner on Saturday night.
Okay.
I won't be here anyway.
Do we need to make a motion to amend that to 9 AM, or can we just write 9 AM because it's a Saturday?
Okay, we can do a motion just for,
Okay. A motion to amend order 2526 from 6 PM to 9 AM.
Second.
All in favor? Excellent. Unanimous.
Do we need to pass it now as amended?
no, that's good.
So we need to make a motion to pass it?
Yep,
Go ahead,
all
Jen.
right.
No, she just needs to do roll call, correct?
Yep,
Oh, sweet.
Gardner,
Yes.
Christie, oh, sorry, Deacon,
Yes.
Pomelo,
Yes.
Strubing.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
And Watson.
Yes.
Perfect.
And that's the last order of business?
That's it?
Make a
Awesome.
motion to adjourn?
Second. All in favor? Unanimous.